Hi, this is Ray Davis of RV Tech Tools, and today is Friday the 13th of May 2022. What could go wrong? Friday the 13th. Well, actually, I'm sitting here in isolation because I tested positive for COVID yesterday, and so I can't easily get out and do the video I want to do. So we're going to do it here in the office, and hopefully it's able to show you the features that I wanted to show you. So the feature I want to show you is the custom messages and pictures capability of the SWTracker in combination with the SpotWalla application on the website. So let's go ahead and get into that. If you'll notice right here, I have got my SpotWalla page up on the screen. I have cleaned out the device so I have no messages. I'm starting from scratch. And I have preset up a testing trip that covers any messages that come in the day for today from 5:13 in the midnight to midnight the next day. So I'm going to go ahead and open the application. And so as you can see here, the SpotWalla connection right here in the left indicates green, which tells you that you have a login set and you have a device, a SpotWalla device selected. Good, that's what you need. The internet availability right here is yellow. That indicates you're on Wi-Fi, which is fine. If you were out in the field on the ride, then it would be green for cellular. If there was no cellular or Wi-Fi available, then it would be red, indicating that there was no connection. That's okay. You can ride and use SWTracker where there is no cellular connection. Down here, there is this buffered count, if you can see this. And as you ride, if your connection goes away, it simply buffers the data and will send it later when it can. So, first thing I want to show is this custom message area here. So, a custom message is a way to send a message immediately. Under normal tracking circumstances, a message is sent under three conditions. One, when you click on Enable Tracking here to start the tracking, as soon as the GPS precision comes up to enough precision, a message is sent to SpotWalla. And then when you click, after you've started, the message there will turn to disable tracking, and that's the end of your trip, if you will. And so when you click there, it will also send a message at the end of tracking. The reason for that is that if you are a IBA rider, as an example, and SpotWalla wants a trip minute every 5, or a trip location every 5 minutes. And so imagine you just sent a location 4 minutes ago, and that's 3 miles away from your home, and you stopped. And if I didn't send a track message when you stopped at your final location, you would be several miles off of being able to prove your ride. So enable tracking and disabling tracking, beginning and end of a tracking session, both send a message. Other than that, while tracking is enabled, a message is dropped every 5 minutes, if that's your setting in the settings page. Now, that is assuming you are moving. There is a 100-meter fence that basically, if you haven't moved 100 meters from your last message, then it's not going to send that message until you move further away. So tracking requires GPS accuracy and movement to lay a track to SpotWalla. So let's get into this custom message stuff that we talked about. Oh, my phone just, there it is. Now we're back. So I'm going to click on custom message. And you'll notice right now it says I cannot send the message. And the reason is this, is I have not enabled tracking. The custom messages are very much like a location message. They are attached to a location. The location is part of the message that goes up to SpotWalla. And so without location services on, you can't send a message because it wouldn't know where to put it. So we're going to click on OK. I'm going to enable tracking. And now if we go in, just to show you here, I've enabled tracking. And if I refresh the web page, you'll notice there is one message now on SpotWalla in my device. If I click on that, you can see that message. It's a tracking message. This is some debug information that my app puts in there, and it gives you message, tells you about that message. If you want to see a little more, you can actually click on the message number, and this gives you a little bit more information that is contained in a standard location message. So we're going to go back here, and just very quickly, I'm going to click on the testing trip view, and you should be able to see that. The first message in a trip is always started with a star. So when I click on that, you'll see that message, and there it is, and it's the same information that we saw over on the other side. So let's move on now, and let's talk about the custom messages. So we'll come back here, and I'm going to click on custom message that you see here. Now, if you notice, there is a whole raft of different types of messages, and you can reach them by scrolling this second bar along the top. The easiest, quickest message to send is simply select custom message and click send. It's that easy. Let's go back to our SpotWalla page, and now if we look, we have two messages, and the second message, which was sent then, is an OK message. It includes the speed. Same kind of information that we saw in the regular tracking message. So that's exactly what we hope to see. So let's go back and look at these custom messages in a little more detail. So as I mentioned, there are different types of messages. There are the OK message, which I sent. There's custom, help, bonus locations, food. These are all defined by SpotWalla message categories, and they are supported in the SWTracker app. So you can pick a message type and tag it as that type. So I'm going to go here, and let's say we were stopping for food. So I can type there. Now above that, in the black bar above, if you look, this is where you can add additional text to your message. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to type McDonald's. Click on return and send the message. Now let's go back again. I'll refresh my SpotWalla page, and you notice now I have three messages, and the last message was a type food, and the message that we typed in at the top is right there. If we go back and look at it in the trip view, hopefully we'll be able to pick it out. There we go. Now it looks like we're far apart here. We have to understand that's a few feet of inaccuracy from the GPS things. So I'm all just sitting here in my home. But here is that message, and it indicates it's of type food, and the text that I typed at the top comes in under the message there. So let's go back again, and let's take a little closer look at some of these. So we go back into custom messages, and as I said, we can pick different ones. Now what I want to talk about here is adding a picture file to the message, because that becomes important in a few cases. You may just be taking pictures of the scenery that you want to associate with the trip, but more often, especially for you IBA writers, they want a picture of your gas receipt with the mileage written on it next to your odometer. That's very, very common, and many people take that picture outside of this app and then later try to send it in or attach it to an application. SWTracker will handle all of this for you, and you don't have to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit gas stop, and for the message I'm going to put Phillips 66. Hit return to get out of the text box. Now I'm going to click down here on the lower left. You see photo source. You'll see it right down here. And I'm going to click on camera. This brings up my camera in a view. If this had been your first time, it would ask you permission. That's the operating system doing it. Just click yes, and you're fine. Now you can use your back camera as is typical, or if you want, you could take a selfie and attach it. Not what I'd suggest. So let's go ahead and I'll take a picture of my printer over there. Nothing fancy, but given that we're not out actually writing, that's the best we can do. So I take the picture and it jumps back into the dialog here, and you can either retake the picture or use it. I'm going to click on use the picture, and now we're back in the custom message dialog. The picture has shown up there, and when we send it, that's all it takes. Now, it also at that point is going to store a copy off into your photo library. If it had been the first time you had done it, there would be a second permission dialog that would come up asking for permission to access your photo library. So let's go back here now to SpotWalla, and let's just go ahead and take a look at my testing here on the trip view. And we come in, and if you notice now, here is the message that says it was a gas stop, and it's Phillips 66, and right next to it is a little picture icon, which shows you the picture that you took. All right, so that's pretty good. So let's go back and take a look at one more time. So just the thing to take away is there's lots of different message types. You can add additional text, and you can alternately add a picture file to it. If we go back, let's quickly go to my photo library and find a nice photo that I want to use. Oh, here's something I was working on with the laser. We'll use that. So let's go back into the app. We're still tracking, and we're going to add a custom message, and I'm just going to tap custom. I'm not going to add any text this time, but I'm going to go to my photo library. If this had been your first time accessing your photo library, again, the operating system would ask for a permission slip. So I will take this picture here, something that I was scanning for a laser cut, and I will use that, and then again, just click send. I'm going to refresh the trip data right now. And if you notice, there is the second picture. Type is custom. And if we click on the picture, there's the picture I sent. So it's that simple. You can very quickly take a picture, but to show you, I'm going to go back out to my photos again real quick. And the last photo that I took is the one I showed you earlier, right there. And it stays in my photo library so that you have a permanent record. It is important to know that the picture sent up to SpotWalla is currently resized a little bit to about 1,000 pixels on the longest side. And that's done to try to help save a little bit in your fees for storage. But a full resolution picture is stored out to your photo library on your phone. So let's go ahead and disable tracking just to finish this off. As mentioned earlier, that is going to guarantee that a final location point is sent to the device. And let's just go ahead and look at the device now. So you can see we started here. There was the OK message we sent, the food message, my gas message, that custom message with the picture, and the final message it was just sent was that tracking message. So I hope that helps you guys understand about this feature. It seems to be very much underutilized, and I think most people just didn't know about it. So I hope that helps. And again, make sure that you understand that those do come into your trip view so that people following you on your trips will see those messages and we'll see the tracks, the pictures, and any text that was added. Like under, there's a tracking message there, but right up here was the food message that said I went to McDonald's. So people will be able to see your progress a little more clearly on your trips. Anyway, hope that helps. If you have any questions, please go ahead and send me an email off at support@rvtechtools.com. Thanks a bunch.